the union people left. A non-union crew was brought in. They're cheaper.
It's a skeleton crew.
Yeah, and they're much cheaper, and they really don't have to deal with all the union rules.
Right.
Which are in place for a reason.
Yes.
So they all walk off, and hours later, like it's after lunch, and everyone is back on set. And now, like, we learn later that the people who walked off were like...
My expectations was that we would leave and then that they would shut down for a day and look at their safety things. I was very surprised that they might continue working.
We didn't know you were going to be up and running again immediately and ignoring everything we said.
Exactly.
And that's what happened.
Right. And so the scene that they're shooting now is the scene in the church with Alec Baldwin, and this is where everything goes wrong.
Right. So Halyna says camera's ready. Dave, the first AD, also the safety coordinator, tells everyone on the walkie-talkies we're ready to go. That's the cue for Hannah, the armorer, to come, takes out the gun for the scene. She cleans the inside of it with a brush. She's telling us all of this, and she goes, and then I loaded the last dummy in there. And what she's talking about is a dummy round, which looks just like, exactly like a real bullet, only it's a dummy, it doesn't fire.
Exactly.
So Alec Baldwin arrives on set. Again, like you're seeing a little bit of the hierarchy. Everyone's calling people at a certain time. There are rules on a set.
Yes.
Very strict rules that when you follow, this well-oiled machine should work perfectly.
Yes.
So Alec Baldwin is on set. He goes to his mark. Hannah, the armorer, is standing next to Dave, the first AD, the safety coordinator.
Right.
Dave says to her, let's do the gun check. Hannah says to Dave, I put dummy rounds in the gun. This is where it gets kind of like, wait, what? Hannah shows Dave the gun, and she says she spins the cylinder for him. So she opens it, spins it. Dave says,
Hannah brought me the gun. She opened up the hatch, and I saw 3 bullets.
And you only saw the 3?
Only saw the 3.
Okay. Do you normally check all of them, or what do you usually do?
Should.
Okay.
He does not inspect the gun himself. Now, I was telling you off mic, Dave, the safety coordinator and the first AD, was fired from 2 other productions before because of unsafe practices. So, like, guns were going off, just like they were on the set. And also inappropriate behavior towards crew members. But whatever.
Oh, no.
So he has a history of maybe not being the best safety coordinator in the world.
Or person, apparently.
Now, Halyna is currently behind the camera.
Yeah, behind the camera, which is right in front of Alec Baldwin. And they will explain to us that normally the way this works is that she would normally be 30 feet away in what they call video village. So when you have the entire crew on hand, the cinematographer and the director are actually watching the monitors 30 feet away to see what would actually be being recorded as like what would be used in the film. But because they're on this skeleton crew, that video village is not set up. She needs to be in the room to frame the shot with her hands in real time. So
with Joel, the director, behind her.
Exactly.
So they're I mean, between these 3 people, they couldn't be closer. Alec Baldwin, Halyna, and Joel, they're on top of each other because it's a very close-up shot.
Within a foot of each other.
Yeah. But again, they don't have video village because most of their crew walked off.
Exactly.
Because of reasons.
Unsafe work practices that are now not being addressed.
That have been vocalized many times. So the shot is very, very close up. And the director of this documentary says, like, just to clarify, so the only thing between her and the gun were her own hands?
Yeah.
The answer is yes. So this is important. This is a rehearsal.
Right.
They were not rolling on this.
Right.
So
we will never really know exactly what happened.
Or what was said or whatever, which is a travesty in the middle of a travesty. Because we'll never really know.
Yeah.
Halyna is right there telling Alec Baldwin what to do. And he says, as he's telling the story in another deposition or whatever, finally I said, now do you want to see me pull the hammer back? He will later say he didn't say that. Now the rest of that sentence that we don't hear could be, and Halyna said no, and so I didn't.
Right.
I don't know the rest of that.
He will also say later that she told him to point the gun in her direction.
Yes.
To point it towards the camera. It's another thing in gun safety we will be told you never, ever do on a film set. But she said, point the gun in this direction so the camera can see it.
Right.
Which has the gun pointing right at her body.
Now, if she were in Video Village, she wouldn't be there.
Right.
Suddenly, like, things are happening very chaotically in the documentary, I think, to show us, like, how that must have been.
Yeah.
Because now we're just talking about how suddenly...
It sounded like an explosion.
Sound in the smoke, and it was so loud. First thing I did was I turned my head and I go, oh man, Hannah's gonna be getting yelled at now.
I say, wait, was it the gun? And Dave said, yeah, it was the gun. And I screamed out like, oh my God, Joel, I am so sorry.